Today I'm meeting with Mark Rogers of Rogers Law Firm in Braintree, Massachusetts. Thank you for meeting with me, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
Mark, could you tell us what differentiates you as a law firm versus other law firms?
I would say that the thing that differentiates us is that we are a non-attorney law firm that really is a general practice law firm. We can do everything. We've represented billion-dollar corporations, and all the way down to the sole, single-member, sole proprietor corporations. That is certainly something that differentiates us. The other thing that differentiates us, and this is really valuable in the nonprofit sector, is we do a fixed fee approach to most projects, in the sense that someone will come in, give us a project, or give us what they're looking for legal services, and we'll price at the beginning. And that's the price they're going to get. So they don't have to worry about the meter running. They don't have to worry about every time they call, every time they talk to us, every email, there's going to be 0.1, 0.2, and it's going to add up. Everything is inclusive in that fixed fee price. That's great from a nonprofit sector because they can plan for their budget and put it in there and say, okay, that's what we're going to spend on this project. Instead of giving it to a law firm and then fingers crossed when the bill comes in and say, oh, that's not what I was hoping for, and now I'm stuck. So they know at the beginning. So that's something that really differentiates us from most law firms.
Now, within that niche we were talking earlier, you do specialize with nonprofits as well?
We do. We have been representing nonprofits. We have probably 140 years of combined experience in the firm representing nonprofit organizations. We've represented nonprofits from the second, when we were general counsel, to the second largest, or my father, who is the principal of the firm, was general counsel to the second largest healthcare system in New England, a nonprofit healthcare entity, which has over $1 billion in revenues each year, to a very, very small startup nonprofit. And we've done everything you could possibly imagine for nonprofits. So we've really had a specialty area, focusing on that.
Is it different representing a nonprofit than a for-profit business? Are there different challenges?
It is different in the sense that the regulatory agencies involved. You're going to be dealing with, from a nonprofit, especially Massachusetts. One of the things you're always thinking about is the Attorney General's office and the Public Charities Division there, the Attorney General's office. That is a big concern. IRS is always some tax-exempt concerns. Nonprofits are, I've always said, are sort of, they've been ignored a little bit in the sense of corporate governance. What we see a lot of in working with nonprofits is fiduciary duties and liability concerns associated with those fiduciary duties. Board governance is a big thing. We'll actually come in, we do this quite a bit, we come in and we recommend this for all of the nonprofits we work with. We come in when they have new board members, or they start off the year, the new board, and for new members of the board. We come in and give an orientation from a legal perspective. And we talk to them about their fiduciary duties as board members of a nonprofit organization and what role they have. And we look at their liability concerns. And there's so many things that flow from that. Nonprofits they're the focus, I would say, of the IRS right now. Even though that seems, we've gone through all the thing about the banking industry and the financial industry has gone through so much turmoil, and you hear this thing about the corporate greed. Anyone in the nonprofit world, and from a legal perspective, will tell you the IRS is really focusing on nonprofits because we've seen so many stories over the last couple of years of abuses in the nonprofit sector, and fiduciary abuses. You have an executor or you have board members who are really looking out for themselves or looking out for their businesses instead of the nonprofit organization they're representing. So we come in and we try and help them understand what they need to do to maintain their fiduciary duty of care to the organization, their duty of loyalty to the organization. And then we'll come in and look at their mission statement, their articles of organization, their conflict of interest policy. And we'll look at all of those things and talk about what they need to do to maintain their fiduciary duties.
Mm-hmm. Do you have maybe the top 3 challenges you see facing nonprofits on the legal side?
There are absolutely, there's so many concerns. One is corporate governance. making sure that the board understands their role and their fiduciary duties in overseeing the organization. That's certainly the most significant. Two is the agreements, that the vendor agreements that nonprofit organizations sign. That really is a focal point. It has to be a focal point for organizations. Too often they just sign agreements and they don't think anything of it. But there really has to be a consistent, really legal approach to any vendor agreement you sign. Because I can guarantee you on the other side, the vendor has had their lawyer go through the agreement, you know, start to finish, number of times. The third would be, this sort of correlates with the Board of Governance, but conflict of interest policy. That is a significant issue that nonprofits really need to be concerned about. And that really flows not only to the board members, but also to executive management and the employees of the organization. So making sure that what they're doing on behalf of the corporation does not create a conflict of interest.
Okay, excellent. Was there anything else you wanted to share before we?
No, but we're excited to be part of the conference. It's it's a education is such a great thing for these nonprofits, and coming together and bringing them together so they can share ideas and share resources. I think there's not enough of these out there, and a lot of nonprofits are going out and, as I would say, going it on their own, and that's where they get in trouble. So, from marketing, from fundraising, there's a lot of great things they can learn from these conferences. And contacts, they can make, sharing ideas going forward. So it's a great idea, and we're happy to be a sponsor and be part of it.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.